Look, sorry to break it to you, but remember that dropshipping guru who promised you'd make $10,000 a month? Yeah, he's probably broke. That passive income course you bought? The creator makes more selling courses than using their own system. And that affiliate marketing success story? They forgot to mention the part where they spent 2 years building an audience before making a dime. Here's the thing though, I've been at this for 3 years. I've lost money on most of these so-called opportunities, but I've actually figured out what works. Not the sexy stuff, not the get-rich-quick stuff, the boring, profitable stuff that nobody wants to talk about because it doesn't sell courses. Hey, I'm Brandon and welcome back to My Money Minute, the channel where I break down everything about money, investing, and building wealth. All right, let's get into it. So here's what happened to me. 3 years ago, I was scrolling through YouTube at like 2 in the morning, and this guy pops up talking about how he made $50,000 drop shipping in his first month. I'm thinking, this dude's younger than me. He's got a nice car in the background. Why not me? Right? So I spend the next 6 months trying to crack the drop shipping code. You know what I discovered? That guy probably did make $50,000 in revenue. But what he didn't tell you is that he spent $47,000 on ads, had to deal with angry customers whose products never arrived, and spent 18 hours a day managing customer service nightmares. The math doesn't work the way they present it, and this is the problem with 95% of the make money online content. Here's what actually happens when you try to make money online. You start with this idea that you'll be making thousands in a few weeks. Maybe you'll quit your job in 6 months. Then reality hits. Month 1, you're spending more than you're making because you don't know what you're doing yet. Month 2, you're still figuring it out. Month 3, you might make your first $50 and you feel like a genius. But here's where it gets interesting. By month 6, if you haven't quit, you might actually start seeing some money. Not life-changing money, but real money. Like enough to pay for groceries or maybe a car payment. And by year 2, if you stick with it and you're not chasing shiny objects, you could actually replace your income. The problem is that Timeline doesn't sell courses. Nobody wants to hear that it takes 18 months to build something real. They want to hear 30 days to financial freedom. Let me tell you about my $3,000 dropshipping education. I thought I was smart. I researched products, I found suppliers, I even had this whole spreadsheet system. You know what killed me? Facebook ads. See, when you're dropshipping, you're basically running a marketing company that happens to sell products. And if you don't know how to run ads profitably, which I didn't, you're just lighting money on fire. I was getting clicks, I was getting traffic to my store, but nobody was buying. Or when they did buy, the profit margin was so thin that one returned product wiped out the profit from 5 sales. Then there's affiliate marketing. Oh man, affiliate marketing. I spent months creating this blog about productivity tools. I was reviewing apps, writing these detailed guides, putting my affiliate links everywhere. You know how much I made in my first 6 months? $43. $43 for 6 months of work. Here's what they don't tell you about affiliate marketing. People don't buy from strangers, they buy from people they trust. And building that trust takes time, like a lot of time. The successful affiliate marketers you see making 6 figures, they've been at it for years and they treat it like a full-time job. And don't even get me started on cryptocurrency trading. I thought I was Warren Buffett for about 2 weeks when I made $800 trading some random altcoin. Then I lost $1,200 the next week trying to recreate that success. So after losing money on all the sexy opportunities, I stumbled onto something that actually worked. Freelancing. I know, it's not exciting, there's no passive income, you can't automate it. But here's the crazy part, it actually makes money. I started with writing because I was decent at it in college. Not great, just decent. I signed up for Upwork, and my first job paid $25 for a 500-word blog post. Took me about 2 hours to write, so I made $12.50 an hour. Not exactly life-changing, but it was real money for real work. The beautiful thing about freelancing is that it's simple. Someone has work they need done, you do the work, they pay you. No funnels, no product research, no ad spend. Just you, your skills, and people who need help. After 3 months of writing random blog posts, I started to get the hang of it. I figured out what clients actually wanted. Spoiler alert, it's not perfect grammar or fancy vocabulary. They want someone who shows up on time, follows directions, and doesn't make their life harder. By month 6, I was making about $1,500 a month just from writing. Not enough to quit my day job, but enough to stop worrying about unexpected expenses. By month 12, I was making $3,000 a month and actually starting to think about going full-time. But here's the thing about freelancing that nobody talks about. It's not just about having skills, it's about being reliable. I can't tell you how many clients have told me horror stories about freelancers who disappeared mid-project or delivered garbage work. If you can just be the person who does what they say they'll do when they say they'll do it, you're already in the top 20%. The other thing about freelancing is that you can start today, right now. You don't need to research products or build funnels or create courses. You can literally go to Upwork, Fiverr, or even Facebook groups in your area and start applying for jobs. Will you get rejected a lot at first? Absolutely. But you only need to land one client to get started. Once I was making decent money freelancing, I started thinking about how to make money without trading time for dollars. That's when I discovered digital products, but not the way most people think about them. Everyone talks about creating online courses, and yeah, that can work. But the course market is absolutely saturated with people teaching how to make money online. What isn't saturated is teaching real skills that people actually need to learn. I created a course on writing effective sales emails because that's something I'd gotten good at through my freelance work. Not sexy, not trendy, but every business needs better email marketing. I spent about 2 months creating it in my spare time. I priced it at $97 and sold it to my email list of about 300 people. I made $4,000 in the first month. Not because the course was revolutionary, but because it solved a real problem that people were actually willing to pay to solve. Here's what I learned about digital products. The money isn't in teaching people how to get rich. The money is in teaching people how to do their jobs better, how to use Excel more efficiently, how to take better photos for their business, how to write emails that actually get responses. The process is pretty straightforward. You get good at something through your regular work or freelancing. You notice that lots of people struggle with this same thing. You create a simple course or guide that teaches them how to do it. You sell it for $50 to $200. It's not complicated, but it takes time to build up the expertise and the audience. I also started selling templates and tools. Remember all those spreadsheets I created for tracking my freelance income and expenses? I cleaned them up and started selling them for $15 each. Over the past year, those simple spreadsheets have made me about $6,000. $6,000 for work I was already doing for myself. Now let's talk about content creation, because this is where a lot of people get stuck. They think they're going to start a YouTube channel or a blog and make money from ads and sponsorships. And while that can happen, the timeline is way longer than most people think. I started my first YouTube channel about 18 months ago. You know when I got monetized? 5 months ago. 13 months to make my first dollar from ads. And that first month of ad revenue? $47. But here's the thing about content creation. The real money isn't in the ads. It's in using the content to drive people to your higher value offerings. My YouTube channel has brought me about 50 freelance clients over the past year. Each of those clients is worth anywhere from $500 to $5,000. That's way more valuable than ad revenue. Same thing with blogging. My blog gets about 20,000 visitors a month now, which sounds impressive until you realize that 20,000 visitors generates maybe $100 in net revenue. But those same visitors have bought thousands of dollars worth of my courses and hired me for consulting work. The mistake most people make with content is thinking the content itself is the product. It's not. The content is marketing for your actual products and services. Once you understand that, everything changes. Podcasting is even more interesting. My podcast has maybe 500 downloads per episode, tiny by internet standards. But those 500 people are exactly my target audience, and several of them have become 5-figure clients. Quality over quantity always wins. Alright, so what do you actually do with all this information? Here's what I wish someone had told me 3 years ago. Pick one thing and get decent at it before you try anything else. I know it's tempting to start a YouTube channel and launch a course and begin freelancing all at the same time. Don't do it. You'll suck at all three instead of getting good at one. I recommend starting with freelancing because the feedback loop is fast and the income is immediate. You apply for jobs, you either get hired or you don't. And if you get hired, you get paid in a week or two. Compare that to content creation where you might work for months before making $1. Spend your first 3 months just learning how to be a good freelancer. Figure out what clients actually want. Learn how to communicate professionally. Get comfortable with the platforms. Don't worry about your rates or scaling yet. Just focus on doing good work and making clients happy. Months 4 through 8, start optimizing. Raise your rates gradually. Ask for testimonials. Start saying no to bad clients. Begin thinking about specializing in something specific rather than being a generalist. By month 9, you should be making at least $1,000 a month from freelancing if you're putting in decent effort. That's when you can start thinking about adding other income streams. Maybe you create a simple course about something you've learned. Maybe you start a blog to attract better clients. The key is building on success, not starting over every few months because you saw a new opportunity. I see people do this all the time. They'll make progress with one thing, then abandon it to chase the next shiny object. That's how you stay broke. And please, for the love of everything holy, ignore anyone promising specific income amounts. Anyone who says you'll make $10,000 a month is either lying or selling something. The people making real money online will tell you it takes time, effort, and usually some luck. Look, I know this isn't the exciting message you wanted to hear. You probably came here hoping I'd reveal some secret method that nobody talks about. Some way to make money while you sleep without doing any work. That doesn't exist, at least not the way it's usually presented. But here's what does exist: real opportunities to build real income streams, doing real work for real people who will pay you real money. It's not passive, it's not automatic, it's not fast, but it works. And once you build some momentum, once you have clients who trust you and skills that are actually valuable, it feels pretty close to magic. The internet has created more opportunities to make money than have ever existed in human history. But there's still work. They still require you to provide value to other people. And they still take time to build. If you're willing to put in the work, to be patient, to focus on building something real rather than chasing fantasies, you can absolutely make money online. Just don't expect it to happen the way the gurus promised. What questions do you have? Drop them in the comments, and I'll answer the good ones. And if this was helpful, subscribe, because I'm going to keep making videos that tell you the truth about making money online, even when the truth isn't what you want to hear. Thank you for watching My Money Mint.